Okay, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that we have Misty coming on today, and she's going to share with us a little bit more about how she has reached the 10K club. You guys, that is phenomenal, Misty. I can't even wrap my mind around that. Those are some incredible sales. So you guys, I'm going to let Misty share a little bit more about her story, but this is what I can tell you that I know about her. I've never worked with her directly, but as a sideline, I can tell you that she always just holds herself with incredible integrity. She's a really kind, beautiful human being. And I know that she has a massive heart to help others. She's got a phenomenal story that, as far as like this physical transformation, which obviously you guys have all seen. And could you guys mute when you come on too? Just a quick reminder. And I absolutely love her story, but here's the thing. So I know you guys know that she had a viral reel, right? And so you're like, okay, well, she had a viral reel. That's why she's at 10K. But this woman, before the viral reel, was still way over 5K every month. And she would usually hit the 2K club within the first couple days of the month, you guys. So even without the viral reel, she is, because I've had a few people like, I don't do reels. I'm not really sure about them. She's got tips for all the things. So anyway, Misty, I'm just going to go ahead and hand it over to you and let you share a little bit about who you are, because I know most of these people don't know you yet. And just kind of tell us your story and like how it happened. And then we'll go into Q&A because like I said, I got a notebook full of questions. So thanks, Misty.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Misty Lee. As far as where I'm at, I'm in a little town in Arkansas of about 4,000 people. And so not a whole lot of my network or my customer base or anything really truly comes from here. I have a few customers here, but most of my business has been grown online. I've been married for 24 years to my husband. I have a 24-year-old daughter and a 21-year-old son. And so just kind of in that stage of life of parenting. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And basically my backstory in the industry, I had kind of dabbled in it when my kids were younger prior to the social media days. And honestly, just didn't really do well with it. I wasn't somebody who really wanted to do a bunch of in-home parties or, invite everybody over to my house and let's do this thing. It just didn't fit with the way that I wanted to do things. And so, I made a few dollars here and there, nothing to speak of really, but back in about 2017 is when I really kind of locked in and said, okay, there's a way to do this organically and to do it through the reach of social media. And so back in 2019 in my previous company, when I was there, basically in about 8 months, I was able to resign myself from my full-time career as an RN through this industry, had doubled my income and just decided, I want the time freedom. I had always sacrificed so many things with my kids growing up through my nursing career and just saw the promise, of what this industry held and still having the opportunity to help people, not just through, health and wellness, but also for their financial goals and being able to do that, on my time, is amazing. And so I love that about it. It makes me, allows me to be present with my family. And so I do have a passion about it and trying to help people, navigate in whatever way that they can. And so I'm going to go ahead and I guess just jump in and kind of tell you from a customer acquisition perspective, kind of some things I've been doing. And I wrote some notes down here too, so I didn't want to leave anything out. So I tried to write down just a few tips and tricks here to go through. And so I'm going to kind of navigate those. And so we're going to first start with, something that I am really consistent with is my posting, right? Even when I don't necessarily feel like posting, I do. And it's not always about the products, but some of it has to be about the products, right? So I'm going to let people see who I am, the know, like, and trust factor. Like if I'm sure all of you've heard a million times, letting people see who you are so they can connect with you as a person. And you're not just out there, selling them things, posting graphics is something I absolutely 100% 0% of the time ever do. If I post anything to do about the products, it's me showing me using the products. It's talking to my experience about the products. And so while, the business, you want to incorporate all of those things in all of your posts from a product perspective, because you want to have those. I mean, you can earn up to basically 35% on your customer sales by getting in that 2K club. And that is something I do strive to do within, at least the first week of every single month. And so I have a whole system of things that I do, but going through some of them. So when you're making your post, I would say a couple times a week, I do post about like something to do with the products, something to do with like my experience or my transformation pictures, or speaking to something in some way, me doing a live, making the coffee, making the balance with the rush, going live and speaking to here are the benefits of this product, and just really getting people's eyes on what we're doing, because we have an opportunity right now, you guys, that not hardly anybody has heard of this stuff, right? Like we are getting to basically introduce it to this space. And we're going to get into my reel and everything here in a little bit later, and I'll tell you how that's going. But, speaking to those things and letting people know like, hey, that's, you may think, okay, I posted a product post last week and I didn't get a whole lot of traction necessarily there, but people want to see you consistently talking about it. You don't know if, Sally saw your post last week, and Sally may be the one who needs to hear about it. They need to hear your experience, that this is something that people have never heard of, doing a call, and giving a call to action when you're talking about it. Like people, like sometimes we'll see stuff. And if you are just out there talking and not, doing it on a consistent basis, you're not going to have the same people, get in touch with you. And I tell you this because sometimes I wonder, like people locally, like who does, who sees my stuff, or who, and people will come to me literally that I'm like, they never comment on anything that I say or post or whatever, but they'll see me somewhere and they're like, oh, I've been meaning to ask you about that coffee, that mushroom coffee thing that you're doing, or I've been needing some greens, or, all the different things, or I've been seeing your transformation pictures. You look great. What are you doing? So even though they're not commenting, maybe sometimes, or reaching out to me, they'll reach out to me in public, or even somebody that has my actual real phone number, like texting me and going, okay, tell me what you're doing, and they're not even doing anything, activity wise on my Facebook. So you just don't ever know who you're reaching. Right. And so, you want to speak to your experience with the products. You just don't want to go out there and say, here's a list of a million things of benefits of this particular product, or let me tell you about all of the things all at once. When you're speaking to a certain post or about a certain product, you want to speak to how has that particular product helped you? What did it help you accomplish? How does it make you feel? And, in doing that, I know this is something uncomfortable to everybody. I know me included, trust me, but progress pictures will get you all the following people want to see that. Like it's uncomfortable, but growth means being uncomfortable, right? You have to know that by you showing your transformation picture, that is something that is going to inspire people to want to look into what you're doing and inspire them on their journey. I'll never forget back when I did first have, my first real taste of success back, and really started figuring out how to use social media. I was at a place before, and I was working out with a trainer and everything. And I had sent him that, and I was doing, my other business, and I was making some progress with it. And I said, I feel like I should post these transformation pictures. And he was like, do it. That's going to help people see, it's going to inspire people. It's going to motivate people to do what you're doing. And so do it. And I did. And that's literally in my very first business. That's what spawned my first successes there with that, was me sharing, like, this is what I'm doing. Here's where I was. Here's where I am now. Now, all that to say, I know that's uncomfortable for a lot of people, and a lot of people will be comfortable posting it maybe in the breakthrough group or something like that, where it's kind of a closed off community, but you want your audience to see what you're doing, because while the breakthrough group is great, 100%, you want your customers and potential customers and everything in there. You want to speak to the people who two you haven't even reached out yet, or the people who may be continuing to watch you but not seeing, or maybe haven't reached out. So just know that the consistency of posting about your progress and your testimony is something that people, as they hear it over and over again, will finally be like, okay, I need to try this. I mean, honestly, had somebody who reached out to me, last night, and which, by the way, I'm actually about to hit 11K today, probably. So it's just like, I mean, doing all the things, you guys, it's crazy. Like when you really get in and start doing it, and it's just kind of, once you get that ball rolling, it continues. But another one, like I said earlier, go live, talk about, like one thing I'll do is I'll mix up my coffee and my gold in the morning, and I'll, do that occasionally and talk about the benefits of the product and how it's helped me, and look how good this looks. And, sometimes I'll do it as an iced protein coffee. Sometimes I'll do it as just a iced coffee in general. Sometimes I'll do it as a regular hot coffee, like letting people know there's different ways to mix it up. And then while I'm doing the live, I always speak to the breakthrough group. Like, we have a great customer testimonial group page, and you guys have seen my transformation, but we have a whole group of thousands of people where you can see others as well. If you'd like some information to get in there, type the word breakthrough in the comments or something like that, to where they know that, hey, there's some other things that I can go into there, which I'm going to get into the breakthrough group in a minute. But so that is another thing. And then stories, you guys, like, so of course I'll go into stories, and posting about the products, whether it be the Ignite or the any and all of the different products at random times. I don't like every single day, like, here's this product, here's this product, here's this product, but it is me making it and mixing it up, making it look good and posting that in my stories. Or sometimes I'll do little clips and go make a TikTok out of it and come back and save it into my phone and post that into my stories as well. So it's not just me utilizing just the TikTok and Reels in the way that I create those, but also populating them over into my stories as well. And then with that, of course, you always want to have a call to action on those, like showing it, like DM if you want information, or link in my bio, or now I don't post my actual link to the website, to my Bravenly website, anywhere where it's just like shows Bravenly everywhere. But I will have Milkshake, which I'll get into a little bit later, that has that link within it, because when you're posting on platforms like TikTok and Instagram, you definitely want to have some sort of landing page like that that's going to allow them to look through, but especially TikTok. So you want to, in those two, in your stories, you want to not just, you want to show your transformation pictures, but pull some testimonies, pull some transformation pictures out of the breakthrough group and things that are being shared there, and share those in your stories. Like, this isn't just me who's having success, right? There are actually other real humans, and here's their testimonies, here's their progress pictures, and I'm not real big on always sharing other people's progress pictures like on my page, but occasionally, if there's one that I'm like, wow, that's really impressive, I want to show that, then, and I will, and I have. And when I do that, but people are seeing me too, if I'm only sharing other people's progress pictures and testimonials, people are like, well, I don't even know that person, but I'm always talking about my successes and my experiences, and then occasionally plugging in, like, here's some other people that are doing this, so you want to speak to that. And, like I said, on your Facebook page occasionally, and also really in your stories as well. So that's something that I do there. And then another thing, you guys, right out of the gate, when I'm talking to people, always in our, I have a step-by-step conversation that I'll go through here with you guys in a minute, but I always encourage the ambassador program right out of the gate. Like, I don't wait around and be like, oh yeah, by the way, have you heard of our ambassador program, after they've been looking at the products for a week, right? I always talk about that to them early in the conversation, and we'll go into that in a little bit. But the reason that I do that, number one, I honestly don't really see any reason for anyone to not be on the ambassador program. It's a $9.99 fee. Now you may want to clarify that. Somebody did think I meant $999 the other day, and I was like, no, $9.99. That's all that it is. There's no stipulations on it. They have no monthly requirements, no auto ship requirements. They get discounts, they earn credits, they have the opportunity to, earn free product through credits, earn a little bit of a cash kickback. And pretty much most all of my customers that I have actually been able to have a conversation with that don't find me, because I have it the way that things are, some of my customers do come through like going through my link and not even ever reaching out to me. I had somebody that purchased like last month, like $700. I think she bought all of the things and I literally can't find her to save my life. So I don't know. But so you'll have randomly those as well when you really put yourself out on social media. And I definitely want to, try to follow up with everybody. So, but with that ambassador program, you guys, what you're able to do with that, once you get them enrolled with that, the very first time that they make a purchase, they're going to have credits on their account, right? And the last thing that people want to do is leave money on the table month to month. So what I do every single month is I go back and whoever my ambassador customers are, and we do have an ambassador handbook. I don't know if you guys have found that like within your app that you can send to your ambassadors that says, hey, here are the perks of this program. I just want to make sure that you know, so you have all that knowledge, so you know what benefits that you're offered here. And then, so every single month, what I do, especially there towards the end of the month, is just go in there and pull my reports. I go into Downline Report Pro, and then you're going to go from there and it's going to open it up to the next page. And of course, it's going to automatically populate to you. You're going to change that to your ambassador group. And then you're going to scroll over to the right and it's going to show you how many credits that your ambassadors have for that particular month. And when whatever credits that they have, I'll write down, whatever credits they have. And then I'll go and I'll send a message like, hey, so-and-so, just wanted to make sure that you knew that you had X amount of dollars in credits. If there's anything that you needed to reorder, or I don't know if you've seen our new product, this, drift, I guess we'll say this month, that you could, potentially use this on. And sometimes they'll be like, oh, I didn't realize I had that many, much money in credits. I mean, you guys, I've had people who have had almost $100 in credits and didn't know, they've made big purchases a couple times through the month and have referred other people over, and they have $100 in credit sitting there. They don't want to, and those credits don't go away, but most of the time people aren't just going to let them accumulate, right? So you're going to go in there and make sure that they know, so they can apply that towards whatever purchase that they have, so that's not left on the table. And scripts, you guys, scripts are so super important to simplify your life, so you're not word vomiting all over everybody. You don't want to, when we have too many tools and systems for you to have to explain all of the things, and having something, basically, I have a system that I do every single time with, there's no switching it up, right? I could send it until, if I needed somebody to help answer questions or help answer messages for me, I can say, here's step one. When they respond back, this is what you're going to say. When they respond back, this is what you're going to say. And the thing about it is that most of what I do is through voice clips as far as initial conversations. But if you're not comfortable with that yet, or feel like that you can't do it, then, have it written out, but you want to say whatever you're going to say in your voice clips, whatever you're saying in your text clips, right? So you want those messages to basically come across the same. And so essentially right now, when people are saying, hey, I would like some info. Okay. I have a script basically that I have for that. I have it typed out. I have it in my boards. Just in case maybe I'm somewhere where I can't respond with a voice clip, or in this situation currently where there's a lot of different messages I'm having to get through. Basically, what I'll say is, hey, I saw you reached out for information. I'd be happy to fill you in on what I'm doing. Here's the link to the website where you can take a look around. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help answer those. If there are any specific benefits that you're looking for in products right now, let me know. I'll help get you pointed in the right direction for picking some things out that will be most beneficial to you. Also, I want to make sure that we do have an incredible customer testimonial group here on Facebook where you can get plugged into, see all the different results and testimonials of others who are using the products as well. Would you like an invitation to that too? Right out of the gate, and make sure, because you want to, before they get in that breakthrough group, you want to know they have to answer those questions. You don't just want to just randomly, invite all your friends to the breakthrough group that are never going to answer the questions, because they're not going to get approved that way anyway. So that's just kind of a lot of work on your part that you just did. That's not going to get them into the group. And you want people in there who want to be in there, who are looking. And I would say 9 out of 10 times, everyone's like, yes, please plug me in there. And you guys, which is going to, well, before we go into that, another thing that I do sometimes, like through my reels and stuff, I won't say specifically what it is that I am doing. And so they're like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I need to know what it is that you're doing. They don't know necessarily even that I'm on products or whatever. So I have a whole script for that. And so basically with those people, what I say is, hey, yes, I would be happy to give you some information on what I'm doing now. So back a few months ago, I happened to stumble upon a brand new line of products that I had never heard of, all natural, very clean ingredients, formulated by a naturopathic doctor that really just addressed a lot of areas that I felt like I was struggling with were preventing me from losing weight. So hormone imbalances, gut health issues, inflammation, slowed metabolism, all the amazing things that come with the 40s. Thankfully, they have worked incredibly well for me. If it does sound like something you would like to look into for yourself, let me know and I'll send you some information. 9 out of 10 times, they will say, oh my gosh, that sounds exactly like what I need. Please send me the information. And so then at that point, I come back, send the link, and basically then just go into a version of the script, like I had said previously, that first script that I told you guys, and make sure that they get plugged into the, and then when they say yes, they want the customer testimonial group, plug them into the customer testimonial group, say, here is the link to that group. Once you accept the invitation, you'll see that there are a couple of questions. Make sure and answer those, and then pop back in here and let me know when you do, and I'll get you approved so you can take a look around. And so I pop them in there. And then as they go through the customer testimonial group, that, you guys, almost upsells a customer every single time, where they may be looking at just a product or two. They'll come back and go, oh my gosh, I think I need this, and I think I need that, all the things. And so also within that, in that conversation, after I send them the customer testimonial group and tell them to let me know, I'll say something along the lines of, another thing I want to make sure that you know about is our customer ambassador program, where you can earn credits on your account towards future products. You have the opportunity to get discounts. You have a referral link where you can earn additional credits and potentially get free product. Would you like some information on our ambassador program? 9 out of 10 times they say, yes, I'd love to save some money or whatever. And I send them the information on the ambassador group or ambassador program, and they jump in as an ambassador, and then they have those credits, and then they have those things where I can follow up and keep them plugged in and coming back to purchase. So, get them plugged into that customer testimonial group and let them see all those testimonials, those transformations. If you're missing that component of plugging them into that group, you're missing out on potential sales. I'll promise you, because it's like the breakthrough group. It's kind of think of it as like Amazon, right? Like when you're wanting to go purchase something on Amazon or wherever, something you've never heard of, and you're wanting it for whatever benefit that you may need from it, you want to scroll down to those reviews and see those customer testimonials and reviews for how other people are feeling, and what they've, like, is this a great product, or what's your experience with this? And so putting them in there is essentially the same thing as looking at reviews on that. So if they're not plugged into that group, they're not going to see all those testimonials. They may forget about it, but those testimonials, you guys, once they're plugged into that group, are going to pop into their feed when people post on that, and that's going to catch their attention. So it's not like they're just going to get accepted to the group and never, think of it again. They're going to get that's going to get populated into their feed as well, to kind of as a constant reminder. Even if they're not seeing your stuff on that particular day, there's always stuff being posted in that group. So definitely utilize it. Let's see, where am I at here? All right. So again, another thing that I do when I'm talking to customers and they're asking what I'm doing. So a lot of times I'll say, what benefits that you're looking for? And they'll say, weight loss. Just trying to lose weight. Well, as we all know, we have several products that address weight loss, and weight loss in and of itself is an umbrella thing, right? So it's not something necessarily where everybody's struggle is the same. It could be that their hormones are out of balance. It could be that, they feel like that they're snacking all the time, and so they need an appetite suppression. It could be that they're really watching what they eat, but maybe their metabolism is slowed, or maybe it is that they feel tired all the time and don't feel like they have the energy to get up and exercise. So I always say, all of our products, most all of them, addressed weight loss except for a couple. If you can kind of give me the top 3 benefits that you would have in addition to weight loss in a product, then I can help you get pointed in the right direction and picking some things out that would be most beneficial to you. They'll come back to me, tell me what those are, and then I'm like, okay, this is what I would recommend personally to start out with. I think this is a good starting point. And so then, which is always a bundle. I never, ever, ever recommend just one product, honestly, unless somebody is like, all I can afford right now is just really one product. What should I do? Then I can, based on what their needs are, get them pointed in the right direction with that. But most everything that I sell is typically in a bundle. So, and of course, you guys follow up, that goes without saying. I mean, you have to follow up with your customers. If somebody, has talked to you about the products but hasn't purchased yet, I usually give it a couple days. Right now, that's a little challenging because I can't even get through the initial messages, but go back in after a couple days. If they haven't purchased, just say, hey, I wanted to touch base. If you had an opportunity to look around at the website, check out the customer testimonial group. What did you think? Is there anything I can help you out as far as product selection? That type of thing. Make sure that they know that you're there, that they haven't forgotten. And sometimes like, oh, got busy. Yeah, I'm so glad that you reminded me. I want to go ahead and place an order. So follow up there. Then when people place their order, always say, hey, I'm so excited for you to get to try the products. Make sure and let me know when they get to you so I can give you some tips and tricks to get started. Okay. And then so they'll let me know. Of course, everybody's usually excited to do that. And they'll let me know when they get them in. I give them those tips and tricks to get started, kind of tell them what my routine is with whatever the particular products that they're using and help them get started. And then, the next day I like to follow up and say, hey, how did it go? What are you thinking so far? What did you try today? And then, you may need to give them some tips or tricks in a different direction. I can tell you, like early on, one girl who was trying to balance and she was like stirring it with a spoon. And I don't know who all uses balance here, but balance is definitely one I feel like needs to be like a frother, a blender, a shaker, something that really is going to get that powder broken up. And so, because she was like, I couldn't get the powder to break up. And so I said, okay, well, here's the thing. Even I had actually told her already, but I was like, this is why I tried this way. The next day she messaged me and she's like, oh, that's so much better. I'm glad you told me that. You just never know. Like when people are first getting started, like those tips that you can give them can be really beneficial. So on to the next thing, which is where I can tell you if I know that people are uncomfortable doing these, but I'm also here to tell you that if you aren't doing Reels and TikToks, you are missing out on a plethora of people who want and need what we have to offer you guys. I will tell you, so I have, even before this one went viral, which is it's like 1.1 million views now on this particular reel. And this was just from a couple of weeks ago. I was also making videos about other products leading up to that. I was also making other videos alluding to the products, different things, whatever. But those maybe didn't catch all the visibility. I definitely had people reaching out to me and contacting me and whatnot from those. But what has happened with this one reel that's gone viral with 1 million views, in 2 weeks, I've grown my followers by 11,000. I literally, if you could see my messages right now, I mean, my husband is like, I don't know how you just sit there and, and go through those, but like it's people from literally all over the world. So even though a lot of them, majority of them are from the United States, we're about to launch in Canada. I have a whole list of people waiting for Canada now, and also South Africa, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Peru, Asia. I mean, I could go on and on for, as we go through global expansion. I'm like, hey, I also tell them, which I'm going to go, now that this has gotten out of hand, I'm saving those messages for later. But in the beginning, those people, I'm saying, hey, if it's Canada, hey, we're going to be launching there soon. I have a wait list going. Would you like to get on that? I can go ahead and give you the link and let you get plugged into the group so you can kind of see some different things and just kind of keep you posted as, the expansion unfolds. And majority of the time they're like, yes, absolutely. Please keep me on there. I'd love to try the product. So I have a whole list of people from different countries that can't even purchase yet. And also not even that, or also like, I'm also would be interested in the business, and, others as well, who are even just asking about the products. I'm like, hey, when the time comes, as we open up in your country, it would be a really good time to get on the launch, to help launch this product and this opportunity to expand it to your entire country, and you help launch your entire country. And so they're like, yes, absolutely, I'd love to do that. So I have a whole list of those people. But with the TikToks and Reels, you guys, like I was saying, like, let me see what my inbox looks right now. I'll just show you guys just to kind of give you an idea. Like and this is after me working it every single day, pretty much from the time I roll out of bed until the time I go back to sleep, with some, of course I have to get a few things done during the day, but this is not my regular folder. So with the message request, there's a whole other folder there, but this is my spam folder. Let me get to the bottom. Okay. So I don't know. Can you guys even see? Can you? Okay. Hang on. Let me kind of get to the bottom here. So so some of them I'll go through. Let me figure out, this is going to be awkward. Wait, am I doing it right? So can you hang on a second? I feel like it's blurring it out there because I have this. These are all people I still have not answered. Okay. So so that's all people I haven't answered, not to mention there's probably about 3,000 comments on the actual one post, the one reel, and also which has spawned into people now jumping on the other reels and saying, oh, what is she doing? And then going on those reels, and also commenting for information on the products and different things on those reels, which is populating them onto my profile page. And I'll be posting about something random and people will be like, I messaged you for information. Can you message me? And they're commenting on actual posts that may not have anything to do even with the products. And so I'm having to go back and check different posts for people doing that as well. So I'm here to tell you, the real situation, the TikTok situation, it is, if it's not something you're tapping into, you guys, I was not comfortable with it in the beginning. I did not know how to do it in the beginning. In fact, my very first one is like of my dog or something random. And, I was playing around with it, did not know, had no clue what I was doing. I was like, I don't know about this stuff, whatever. Well, then I started watching trainers, who were like, if you're not utilizing TikTok, you're missing the boat. You're missing the boat. You have to get in on this. This is like the new thing that's coming along for marketing. So I was like, well, I guess I better figure this out, right? And so I started being more consistent with that, and was not comfortable, had no clue what I was doing, but started getting, watching YouTube tutorials, started going through TikTok and watching, TikTok tutorials on, how to use trending sounds, trending hashtags, trending whatever. And just started kind of implementing that, and then plugging not only some of the fun things like that in there, but also plugging things about the products or the opportunity, or speaking to who I am as a person. Like, it doesn't have to just be fully, just fully everything to do with just your products, right? Or the opportunity, letting people see your personality and having fun with it is really just what we want to do, also with incorporating different things there. Okay. And so what I do, I almost always create my reels and everything in TikTok, because TikTok is the easiest platform with the most features that you can actually create content in, video, short video format. And so I create it there. I use Talk Repost. There are some other ones where you can take it and remove the logo. In removing the logo, what that's going to do, you're able then to repurpose it into Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels. And by removing that logo, it's going to boost it in the algorithms. It's going to make it more visible. Okay. So definitely you want to do that. I can tell you the very first, so Reels, Facebook Reels, it's called Talk Repost. Yes, I am getting quality leads from TikTok as well. But so I will say, and I'll get into all that in a minute, and you guys can ask whatever questions. The one thing about TikTok that makes it a little bit more challenging in the communication piece, which is why you need like a landing page, is because unless they're following you, unless you're following them, you can't message each other. So it's this whole back and forth in Messenger or in the actual comment section that is like, so that's why it's important to have a landing page with Milkshake or whatever. And we can get back into that in just a second. But what I will say is on, removing that talk repost, whatever questions you have, I'm happy to answer those at the end, but taking that off, putting it over into Facebook Reels, TikTok Reels, Instagram Reels. For me, because Reels on Facebook are so new, that seems to be where like you can really get a good amount of traction. Like they're pushing those for people who are doing the content creation of those, and really making those visible to a lot of people, and especially when they start to take off. And so, and the thing of it is you never know when you're going to have a reel that's going to go viral. Not every reel that you have is going to go viral, but what I can tell you is when you do, especially if it's product or business related, you're going to get a ton of leads, like leads for days, and so many leads you don't know what to do with. And so having a system to get back through those is going to be important. But with that, I will tell you again, when Facebook Reels came out, it was a new thing. It's like, I have no idea what I'm doing here, but let's give this thing a shot. This is what they told me I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm doing here, but so I made a TikTok, pushed it, my very first one, into Facebook Reels. And because of the traction and the algorithms and the way that they're trying to build that platform on Facebook, that very first reel that I had like over 7 million views. It's and now like I don't even know what it's at, but it had over 7 million views then, and it was business related. But coming back around, like again, I've posted and just continued to post and been consistent with it. And now I have another one that's gone viral here with this one. And it's definitely something that it's, if you're not doing them, I promise you're missing out on a big market. Ray Higdon's doing a training on it right now. Brian Fryer's doing a training on it right now. Seen Fraser Brooks talking about, he has a whole TikTok platform teaching on different tips and tricks on how to utilize Reels and TikTok. So, it is a platform that anybody who knows anything in this industry and is a big leader and tons of experience and tons of knowledge, it is the number one thing that they're pushing. So just, utilize it. And even if you don't know what you're doing, fail forward. You can suck at them for a few times. It's fine. That's part of it, right? You got to get better at it. And, if you're uncomfortable, that means you're doing something good, right? You're doing something that's going to help you grow. And that's the important part. But again, Milkshake, you guys, is a free thing. And something, I don't like post it like in my comments or I don't post it like in my post or whatever, but it is something. And especially as you're growing and having lots of people reach out to you that you literally can't manage, TikTok is one where people don't necessarily even want to have a conversation. People do go to TikTok to find things to buy. And so having that Milkshake platform where, and you're welcome. I know Carly has one. I've seen, there's lots of people who have them, and essentially you can, put links to your website, links to where they can connect with you, even in Facebook Messenger, links to the customer, the customer breakthrough group and all the different things, and just kind of telling your story a little bit there and just giving them a place to see who this person is. So you can say at the end of your TikTok or your reel or whatever, link in bio. And I've also started doing Project Broadcast, which is basically a phone number. So people don't have my direct phone number because people will say, I can't find where to message you or whatever. So I'm doing Project Broadcast now. And so I have a phone number that's not my actual phone number. It goes into an app. And basically they message me on that. And so I'm able to get back to them that way as well. So I have like a whole nother messenger section of Project Broadcast phone numbers that I'm able to go through. You can create lists that way to do like mass messaging, like say you have a product launch, or maybe we have a discount or whatever, message you wanted to send to people who have reached out to you. And you can create different lists that way of people that you can mass message at one time without having to do it over and over, but also have a place for people to reach out to who are looking to purchase that, especially TikTok is one that is a big one that's hard to message in. So would for sure recommend that. Another thing, you guys, is boards. Like, I live and die by boards. Every script, of course, I know that was it Cassandra who made the big yeah, it's amazing. So Cassandra made a big boards app that you can download. If you, well, you have to download the app and then the boards that she created specifically for everybody, you know, in the in the team and the group, that they can go in, click that, and it will automatically add that board, which basically has everything that's out of our app right there for you to utilize in the boards. Also different scripts and things like that. And then I have my own personal scripts that I have in there, as well as my customer, link, my website link or whatever. So that way it makes it easy, even in commenting back to people or if I said message you or, in Reels, another thing that you have to do when people aren't following you, sometimes they'll say, send me some info, but then I'll go message them and they don't know how to find their hidden messages. I would say like a lot of people do not know how to find their hidden messages. And there's two hidden inboxes. You have your regular inbox and your spam inbox. And I don't know how Facebook decides who goes where necessarily, but you want to make sure and check those all the time, because you never know who's maybe reaching out to you that you're not connected with, that's just following you. So after I message them, or I see they want information, I'll go into my messenger, say, hey, I saw you had asked for information. I'd be happy to send some things your way. Let me know when you find this and I'll send that over. So I don't waste my time giving them all the info right out of the gate. I want to know that they actually did see my message. Right? And then I'll go back to the reel where they commented, and I have a script. I just copy it and, and it pastes it and says, message you. If you can't find it, be sure to shoot me a private message and it will open up the chat. Like, give them instructions on how to open up the chat to find their message. Because even it used to, when I didn't, I was just learning, I would say message you, and then they would come back and say, I can't find it. And then like, well, here's what you do. So I just made a script for it, put it in boards, and then say that every time. I will tell you, I do personalize every single message when I do comment back to people. For one, if you try to send the same message over and over and over again in Facebook will put you in Facebook jail. So if you just say, like, I have it saved as hey there, but every time I go change there to whatever the person's name is to make it personalized. But I do a lot of voice clips too, just to kind of mix it up. Voice clips is what I tend to stick to. So that's that. One thing, a fun thing, last little thing here that I'll tell you guys that I'm doing this month that has been, something people are excited about, is a fall themed customer appreciation gift basket giveaway. It's a fun little basket. I actually did a live on it last night. You can go watch it on my page. For those of you, like, my name is Misty Lee, but I have Misty Brewer on there to make it easier for people to find me. So Misty Brewer Lee, and you can kind of see the gift basket that I'm doing. And I posted in my stories and people are reaching out to that. And basically what I'm doing there with that is it's about a $200, gift prize there with a bag of the Rush. You can, whatever product you want to do in that. I'll do another one for the holidays. And typically what I do is, like, for the whole month long, I'll run it for my entire customers. And then for the end of the month, to help my team with their PBV too, I'm like, okay, here's the end of the month incentive for you guys. If you guys want to utilize this, it's open to anybody who wants to do it. And kind of the same rules. And the way that I do it is, for every customer that purchases, they get an entry for every single item that they purchase, and every single referral that they have of a customer who purchases from me as well. So that's just a kind of a little fun thing that occasionally, if you wanted, I wouldn't recommend doing that every month, but, just for, like, I'll do one like for the fall and for the holidays. That's something I've done for the past few years and people love it. And, the customers want to know that they're appreciated, and it's a fun little way to get your team included in on what you're doing. So that's my tips, you guys. Hopefully that's helpful. If anyone has any questions, I guess are they able to unmute, Carly? If they want.
Yeah, everyone's they're able to unmute. You guys can either unmute, raise your hand, whatever you want to, to do. I just want to say two things. First off, Misty, I know how incredibly busy you are, and I know this was a huge sacrifice of your time to get on here and share with us. So you guys, this girl's like abundance mentality personified. She is so busy and buried. You saw those messages. Yeah, she took the time to spend this with us and to share us how to do what she's doing. And second, does this not get you so fired up and excited about the possibilities that we have? Like, hello, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm like, oh my gosh, if it's possible, guys, you can do it. We can do it. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and just like you guys go in and mute or, raise your hand, whatever. I know there's some questions. So.
Yeah, I see somebody is Allie had asked, is that free, the talk repost? No, it's not. I tried to download some other free ones and there was tons of ads or it wouldn't work or all the things were off. And so for me, I think it's like $4 or something a month like that. For me, that's a business expense. And I feel like it's definitely worth it. I mean, to be able to take that off there, and trade, get 11,000 followers in 2 weeks or, have over 1 million views on one reel. It's something that I'm just, I invest in different apps that simplify my business. And so that's definitely one of them because I use those platforms so much for Reels and TikTok. So it's worth it. It's something you can always cancel if you need to. If there is a free one that look around, you never know, they may pop up some different ones. That's just one that has worked really well for me and is simple. So.
Okay. What about project broadcast with the phone number? Does that cost money too, or is that in the App Store?
It is in the App Store. It also, it is not free. There is a free like 10-day trial period, I guess. My recommendation on anybody who's just starting out with where you're, wanting to do this, but not wanting to give away like your personal number necessarily, is do like a free Google number in the beginning. And then once you really see, okay, I have a lot of traction and this is something that I want to invest in, is having the ability to have this all in an app and, have the ability to do the things that Project Broadcast does, then you can actually do that. And so there's different packages that you can do with that. So I would say in the beginning, probably not necessarily something that maybe everyone wants to invest in, but if you continue to grow your platform through TikToks and Reels, it's definitely something that's worth it.
Sorry, I look crazy, by the way. I have family photos after this. I would not be being disrespectful, but I'm managing here.
Yeah,
but thank you, Misty.
You're fine. You're welcome. Let's see. Willing to share. Yeah, I can share my scripts. What's your best tip script when off the bat potentials ask about pricing? So basically with the pricing, I always say, or you're saying when they have like an objection to pricing, I guess. Who's that? Yvette. So basically, if they have an objection to pricing, what I'll say back to them is like, these are very quality, clean ingredients. And so, with products, you do kind of get what you pay for. And certainly with the results that I've had, I would pay double for what I have to be able to use them. And if you want a potential to be able to get them at a discounted price or potentially get them for free, then I would look into our ambassador program. And, you have the potential to earn free product credit, get major discounts with that. And so once they start doing that, you guys, like, to get them enrolled on that, I mean, you could potentially have people who, through just simple referrals, who aren't necessarily trying to build a business, but, earn enough product credit to get a couple products a month, honestly. Like, so that's what I would do. Do I do hashtags on TikTok? Yes. So hashtags are important on TikTok. And somewhat on Instagram too, not as much as TikTok. But so with TikTok, on hashtags, you want to make sure there's a couple different things. One, there are some like viral hashtags and those change. And so when you go to do hashtags, you will see those kind of get highlighted down below when it pulls up the hashtag. You put the hashtag and it'll show you different ones. And so you want to use, like, I wouldn't use more than like 4, maybe 5 at the most hashtags. And you want it to be like whatever it is that you're talking about. So weight loss transformation, whatever your target audience is to, like mine is, I'm 44. So I'll do like hashtag women over 40, hashtag weight loss transformation, hashtag weight loss hacks. You can, whatever would be specific to that. On Facebook, I use no hashtags at all. Like, I don't use any Facebook hashtags. And Instagram, when I post the reel, what I do there, and I get leads off of Instagram too. And I always tie them back into me and Facebook. Like that's the way, because I want to be able to get them in that breakthrough group. So wherever I connect with them at, I always try to bring them to connect with me on Facebook. That's something that I do because of the breakthrough program or the breakthrough testimonial group. And that's another thing when you're creating your milkshake, which is free, you can do it for free. One of the things I recommend is there'll be a spot where you can like put all your social links at the bottom. And so you can see where you can add your phone number. Like if you do the Google phone number or project broadcast number, you can put your TikTok link, your Facebook link, your Instagram link, Pinterest, whatever it is that you have, YouTube. And so you can, then they can find you on those different platforms and message you there too. So that's, you know, you want to make sure the important thing is to tie all of your platforms together, you know, so people know where to find you on all the places.
Thank you, Misty.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see. Let's see. So Ashley, honestly, with it, what I just started doing, so of course I would reach out to my warm market about talking about the products, you know, like, hey, you guys have to try these are amazing and I'm having good results with them. But really, what I've learned to do is really through like basically attraction and curiosity marketing on the products. And that's honestly, right now, once you get to that point, not everybody starts out at that point, right? It's, you have to go through your warm market and talking about the products and the opportunity, you know, like so your friends and your family, and, you know, sharing about it on Facebook with people who are already following you. And then as your credibility grows and as your consistency grows and as people see you continuing to post about it, honestly, you really don't have to do a lot of that anymore. You're just like sharing your story, sharing your testimony, and being consistent with that. And you go from that place to where, yes, at one point I was, you know, having to do the reach outs. Now I haven't, you know, I've gotten to a point where I've grown my social media, I've grown, you know, my platforms to where people are wanting what we have to offer here, as they should. They're incredible products and the business is credible as well. So people are reaching out to me because of my consistency and showing up. So, you know, right now that would be, you know, that's kind of what I did. But yeah, in the beginning, you do have to, you know, if that's not what the place you're at yet, you know, I know that there's been lots of different things. There's scripts in Bravenly Nation pertaining to what to do to reach out for potentials, you know, that are, you know, either a cold market or warm market, either one, to let them know what you're doing about the products that you're using. And so get kind of doing that. But you don't, you know, I'm not one that promotes spammy, like cold messages. Honestly, I don't really like that. You know, getting like to build up a relationship back and forth with somebody and connecting in that way is what I encourage. I don't like, I don't promote that with my team as far as that. If it's your warm market and you want to talk to them about what you're doing, absolutely. But just popping into somebody's messenger randomly that you've never spoken to before is not something that I necessarily, without building up a relationship and creating an opportunity to have that conversation. Let's see, when you add someone to the breakthrough group, what are your favorite places to tag people to give them info after you add them to the group? Okay. So basically, depending, it's very individual, honestly, because there are people who are saying, maybe they'll come and say, I have terrible problems with inflammation, what could I do for that? You know, and then so like automatically I know gold. So I'll go, okay, so I'll go search up inflammation. And then I'll tag them. It's depending on whatever their benefit that they're looking for is, like weight loss. Okay. What is the best bundle for this? And I may say, you know, I know that here's a few different testimonials on that. So I'll tag them in some different, you know, product post of people who are having good transformations where they're actually showing whatever products that they're using and they're speaking to those. What is the next step for that group? Yeah. So that's basically what I do, is give them that information. And then I say, you know, if there's any other, what I'll tell them as well is if there's any other, you know, thing that pops in your head about a benefit that you're maybe looking for, or maybe like an area. I know a lot of people have said to me, like, I have, you know, fibromyalgia, or I have Hashimoto's or thyroid issues or whatever. And so what I'll go is say, hey, too, as you're going through all these things, I'm not going to tag you in all the things, but as you're looking, there's a little search bar at the top of the page. You can actually put that word in at the top of the page, and it'll pull up lots of different comments and posts pertaining to that, maybe that you can find that would help address those areas, and you can see what those customers are using that has helped them. Let's see. My favorite ones are, well, of course, I use Drive. I'm 44. Not everybody is maybe having where they feel like hormonal imbalances or that. So there's, aside from the one, the bigger lifestyle bundle, and there's the Drive's not in all of the bundles. And there's only the bigger ones, and then the one with the Calm, the Burn, and the Drive. And so my favorite ones honestly are the Accelerator Duo bundle. And if it's somebody who, depending on what other benefits they're maybe doing, I may encourage them to add Gold to it. And then the Drive, if hormone imbalances or something, just to kind of give them a place to start. You know what I'm saying? And then the Essentials bundle. Those are two of my favorites. And so I love the Essentials bundle. The Balance is one of my favorites. And then if I encourage the Essentials bundle, I'll say, go add the Rush. That's kind of how I do that. But honestly, I have people, once I add them to that breakthrough group and they see, even if I give them recommendations, they'll come back. Okay, I want to order that, but I feel like I want to order this too. What should I do? And I'm like, well, you can do this. And, there's obviously all the different options there. If you want to try all the things, then yeah, you can, based on whatever they're saying. Another one I saw a lot of is the Sips and Sunshine bundle, and have them add the Ignite to that. But that's,
Misty, I have a few quick questions too. These
Yeah.
girls will kill me if I don't get these in here. And they're like, please, please, please ask her this. So real quick. So how do you boost your algorithms when you feel like your content isn't being seen? So your attraction marketing. So how are you making it? Is it consistency? What is it that's getting the views on your content?
So essentially what I'll do is I'll kind of let it go for a little bit. And usually there is, people who will comment here and there. I'll kind of let those comments go for a little bit. And if those comments are continuing to go, then I'll let them go. If I see that that's slowing down, what I'll go back is I'll go or heart the comment, and then comment back and create something, to where there's going to be more responses in there, because of course, whenever there's that's going to push it up in the algorithms, and that's on my reels or my Facebook or whatever, sometimes I'll just go back to ones that are from a few days ago, even that maybe I've missed that, one thing, because I don't know how also Facebook does it, where they try to tell you which comments are the most important or the whatever, and I'm like, I don't know how they select those, because I want to see all the comments and I would like to see them in the order that they were put on there, right? But Facebook, for whatever reason, decides which ones they think are most relevant. So you want to always make sure that you go select all comments, because if not, there's going to be some that you miss. And so I'll periodically go back through, and if I feel like it's a post that's pertaining to the business or the products or whatever, and I'll go back through and occasionally comment on that, or I've go in there, and most of my stuff stays pretty well in the feed, I feel like. But if I feel like it's one that's slowing down, or I don't want it to slow down, and I haven't gone to answer the comments maybe in a couple of days over there, because once you have them coming in from so many places, sometimes the Facebook notifications make it a little bit challenging to see where did that comment come from, or where, because it doesn't, if it did, I would have a whole list of, that I don't even wouldn't know where to begin to get through those. But so I just periodically go check my different reels to make sure that I haven't missed a comment, and then try to kind of show some love to that one to kind of boost it back up to go back and make those comments and like those, and create an opportunity, continue conversation, in the comment section.
And what about those? So that's something that's viral and's got a lot of traction. What about those posts? Or what if you before you became viral, or those posts where people weren't getting seen? So we have some people who are like, hey, I'm not getting, 5 likes on my, you know what I mean? I'm not getting comments on that. Is there anything that you do that kind of created you to having that huge following and that, those viral breakthroughs like before you got there?
So really, it's just continuing to create the content. I mean, it's even when because you're going to have videos like that. I mean, I've had videos that I'm like, oh, this is going to do real well. But for whatever reason, Facebook wasn't necessarily a fan of it that particular day. So the only thing that you can really do is go create more content. And you can go and save those and you can share them to your stories. I don't recommend sharing your own reels onto your Facebook page, but you can share those into your stories as well. So you could push that in there to where people can click on that and go view it from your story. So that is something that you can do. But really what you'll find is even though sometimes those that didn't have that much traction before, as you can continue to create content and get more eyes on you, what's going to automatically happen is, sorry, that's an alarm for a lady that's going to be purchasing here in a little bit. So I have a message to text her. Anyways, but so basically, as you create that content, the more consistent that you are with it, the more eyes that are going to get on your content, which is going to spawn off of even that one that may not have had all that many views before. As you do these other one and people are curious about what you're doing, they're automatically then going to go back, and it may be one that you created months ago and they're going, well, what is this? And you're like, okay, yeah, I'll go here and message there. And even the business information, I'll tell you, like, I've had so many people reach out to me about the business side of this now because of that reel about the products. And it's not anything that they've heard of before. And so that's giving me an opportunity to reach out to those people, like to invite them to the Zoom tonight, so it's not just creating product sales opportunities, it's creating opportunities to grow your team also. So, it literally covers all the areas.
Love that. So there's one more that I definitely want to get in, and then if there's any left in the comments. But I love this question. I think it's so perfect. If you were brand new in network marketing or had not yet seen any success and you were able to go back, what would you do differently, or what would you suggest that person does? So somebody just getting started or somebody that hasn't seen success, like where would you put your focus?
So that is a good question. If I was just getting started, if I could go back and do things differently, one of the big tips, and I think a lot of people think when they first get started, I mean, we just don't know what to do, right? Like we're just like, I see other people doing this, but I'm not real sure what to do. The best things that I could say would be to do is lock arms with whoever your leader is, look what they're doing and learn how to emulate what it is that they're doing and incorporate that and make it genuine to you, to where you have to grow yourself. You have to gain knowledge yourself, where you don't know what to do in the beginning. And so getting plugged into trainings, growing your knowledge, you want to take action, obviously, in sharing your stuff, but really that's just diving in. And we have such leadership and such incredible tools here that, what I was doing in the beginning, I didn't have all those things. If I would have had all these things when I first got started, it would have made life much easier. That's for sure. But, utilize the tools that we have here, utilize your upline, the content that we have, in Bravenly Nation. My goodness, there are so many resources, there's scripts, there's all the things, people in the beginning don't know what to say. And I would be one that would say, I would probably have word vomited on people, like utilize what is there and use the tools that we have, because you don't have to know all the things, you don't have to know all the things to be able to take action. It's just getting in there, showing up every day, being consistent, learning as you go. Know that it takes time for growth, and not to, give yourself grace. Right. I mean, we all start out somewhere. Like that's not something you shouldn't, don't compare yourself to someone as you see a leader in this space whenever, you're just getting started in this. Maybe your first, venture in it. You maybe have tried and failed a couple of times. I mean, I can speak from a place where I definitely did that. And you just have to learn from your failures and know that, being consistent is what it takes, and know that like, if you want to grow, you have to have a strong mindset, and that you can't stop just because because you're not seeing the progress that you want right now. Just know that sometimes you have to kind of take it in a different direction. If what you're doing, isn't working, look at the people, that things are working for, your leaders, other people who are having success in this space, who maybe are at the same place that you are. Find out what they're doing, and just it's growth, consistency, having the right mindset, and personal development, you guys, is a huge part of that. Like you cannot you can't grow past the level of your where you're at right now. And if you want to get better, you have to invest your time in learning how to become better. And just speaking with posture and confidence, and knowing what we have to offer here is incredible, that these products are amazing, that this business opportunity can be life changing. And just being of the mindset that I'm going to do whatever it takes. And you have the potential. I mean, this isn't just even about your own success, but knowing what lives that you can change, what people need those health changes, what people need that financial, income support there, what struggles are they going through that you can help them with. And just coming from a mindset of like knowing we have something to offer here, and you have the opportunity through this platform and through this business opportunity to really help change people's lives. So.
Wow. You guys, if you're not fired up, I'm so excited. Thank you, Misty. I do want to honor your time. Like I promised you I'd keep it right in an hour, and I know we've gone past, and I bet we could go 3 more just grilling you, but we won't do that to you. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time to pop on here and to share like your insight and what you're doing. So we appreciate you more than you know.
Well,
Yes.
You're welcome. Hopefully it's been helpful for you guys. And, I can definitely, when I get a second, I will try to I can send my scripts over for you guys to take a look at, and know that, they can be tweaked a little bit here and there, but I feel like they've worked well. So.
Yeah, we would love your scripts. So we'll make sure that I get that. If you want to send those to me when you have a chance, I'll make sure we get them to the team. And so thank you. I know the generosity you're pouring out to us will come back to you 100-fold. So thank you, my friend. We love you and appreciate you.
Yeah, love y'all. You're welcome. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Welcome.